G'day everyone. This is part one of a series called A New Zealand to be Proud of. And this first part is called What a Decent Country Would Actually Look Like. When we say New Zealand is a decent country, who are we picturing? The person in the boardroom or the person whose card just got declined at the supermarket? This is week one of a new series where I'm trying to explore a simple but uncomfortable idea. What would a genuinely decent country actually feel like? Not in a press release, but in real lives. I grew up with the typical Kiwi story. We were the fair-go country. Nobody got too flash without someone taking the mickey. Nobody was left too far behind because we look after our own. Now, at 64, oh God, I am actually 64. I find that tough to understand. After a few decades floating between boardrooms, workshops, lunchrooms, and WINS queues helping other people, I'm not so sure the story matches the footage. On paper, we look fine. Stable democracy, solid institutions, not a basket case by global standards, but depending on where you stand, you might be living in a very different New Zealand to the one we keep talking about. Let me give you the picture that kicked this series off for me. One morning I was with a good client, classic SME story. They've grafted for years, built something real, now wrestling with margins, debt covenants, growth plans. The board pack was full of graphs and tidy phrases: labour availability, wage pressure, optimising cost to serve, all sensible, all necessary. Banks love that language. On the way home, I stopped at the supermarket. In front of me was a woman in high vis buying a small basket of completely ordinary food. No treats. The eftpos machine beeped, declined. She took out a loaf of bread and tried again, declined. After a moment, she asked the operator to cancel the lot. Same day, same country, two very different films. In one, we're measuring and managing EBITDA and tax. And the other, someone with a job can't buy groceries. None of this is an accident. It's the downstream effect of decisions made in Wellington over many years. Tax changes, welfare rules, housing and health settings. Each tweak looks tiny in a treasury briefing. At the checkout, they all arrive at once. So where do SME owners fit in? We sit in the awkward middle seat. We're sending PAYE, GST, and provisional tax off into the cloud somewhere. We're also watching our staff juggle rent, food, fuel, and kids' school costs. We can't control the official cash rate, but our decisions absolutely shape how survivable the wider system feels for the people who work with us. Here are three lenses I use when I'm working with owners. Excuse me. First, accept that volatility is the new normal. Costs will bobble, governments will come and go. If your business model only works when everything is calm and cheap, it's not a model, it's a lucky streak. Second, put real faces on the word vulnerable. Think about the part-timer with kids, the sole earner on the factory floor, the older staff member caring for a sick partner. When you look at a decision, a roster change, a restructure, a bonus scheme, ask, if things out there got 10% worse, what happens to this person? If the answer is they fall off a cliff, the decision probably isn't as clever as it looks in a spreadsheet. Third, use a simple fairness test. This is the golden nugget from the article. Would I still think this was fair if I were the person with the least power in the room? If the answer is no, something needs to move. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe it's the way you communicate. Maybe it's the support you wrap around it. But they'll be right is not a strategy. Now, none of this turns us into Scandinavia and the South Pacific. We can't fix the housing crisis in our spare time. But we can pay as fairly as we realistically can and be straight with people when we can't do more yet. We can give staff as much predictability as we manage rosters, even if it's a little bit less convenient. We can pay our small suppliers on time every time because we know what it's like to wait. Most importantly, we can stop talking about the vulnerable as if they are somewhere else in any given month. Someone who's one drama away from disaster is working for us, selling to us, or looking back at us in the bedroom mirror. So that's the frame for week one. A decent country isn't about perfection. It's about making sure the person with the least power doesn't carry all the risks. If that idea lands with you, I'd love you to read the extended article and maybe share your own stories from the middle seat. Well, thanks for being here. Please do take a look at the extended article linked below, and I'd really like to see you back here next week for the next episode. Thank you very much. See ya.